This the URT. You are the URT. Big up the URT. Welcome back to the URT. How are we doing, people? Welcome to United Real Therapy. Welcome back to the channel. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Hit that like button ASAP, people. We need more likes. Channel is shadow banned. YouTube is doing a madness on us. But you can help us fight back. On tonight's show, we're going to be asking the questions. Which of these potential coaches fits? It's like hand and glove with the squad that we have, specifically the midfield. Who could get the best out of a 3 in midfield or 2 in midfield? I don't think we can play 2 in midfield, but that's just me. We're going to be also reacting to the Amorim interview that he did with Owen Hargreaves in TNT, where he basically said they're bottle jobs. I'm like, Amorim, you didn't need to tell me that a lot of the so-called experienced players are bottle jobs. You didn't need to tell me that. But then it also says something about your coaching as well, Amorim, because at the end of the day, you can scapegoat the players so much. You're supposed to get the best out of them, and you haven't. But it is what it is. Yo, big up to Bodo Glimt. Big up to Bodo Glimt. I will forever be liking Bodo Glimt. Fantastic football club. Their story is incredible. But yeah, and then we're going to be obviously looking at who is compatible. And there's been loads of other rumors around the Amorim situation. But I'm going to just gently break it down and give it to you. Give it to you raw. Gotta give it to you raw. Yeah. Gutted for Bodo Glimt, man. I was happy that they were 2-0 up. But yeah, gutted for them. But they should have had a 3-1, to be fair. 3-1, it could have been. They would have took that chance. But fantastic football club. I love the way they play football. Look at them. Look at Bodo Glimt. And look at Manchester United. Like night and day the way both clubs have run. But yeah, big up to Bodo Glimt. I hope they can get the winner. But yeah, that's everything we're going to be talking about on the show tonight. We're going to be reacting to Amorim's thing. We're going to have a panel discussion. Which coach football fits the squad? That's what we're going to be asking. And any other Manchester United news. So big up, get comfy, get a hot drink, a herbal one maybe at that, and tune in because it's going to get sticky tonight. Welcome to the therapy army. Come on, Bodo Glimt. I hope Bodo Glimt do it. People, please smash a like on the video. Straight away, smash the like. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. This derby, Xavi need Manchester United, need coach ASAP. Both better than loser Amorim. Yeah, that's a bit harsh. We're going to be looking at we're specifically going to be looking at the midfield tonight. I think the conversation's there. We need to have that conversation, basically. And have the conversation that what coach can get the best out of a 3 in midfield, because that's what we need. We need to stop our defense being destroyed, and we need to protect the defense, especially if we're going to play Maguire and Blind. We need to protect the defense. We need to be able to sustain attacks up the pitch, people. So that's what we're going to be asking tonight. Who do you think? But get in the comments, people. Who do you think specifically would be able to manage that for us. Nice the 12th, by the way. Yeah, I've seen that. To be fair, it's early days in the French league as well. Big up to you, Mo, bro. I'm not seeing you for ages, man. I hope you're good, Mo. Mo Hamza Zain. Big up. Listen, Jamie, you don't have to tell me that. I already broke it down for people. I already exposed that. Omar Barada has never been a CEO, but he thinks he can be CEO of Manchester United. Jason Wilcox was only ever maybe a technical director. He wasn't a sporting director at Southampton. So where's his experience to be the Manchester United sporting director? Where's Omar Barada's experience to be the CEO of Manchester United? He was a CFO before. Come on now. Yeah. And obviously, a lot of the more of the scaremongering as well. We're going to be talking that. Man United fans and those people in the press, I know you think it's funny, but stop the scaremongering with Gareth Southgate BS. Gareth Southgate, when was the last time he managed a club? It was Middlesbrough and he took them down. Do you think he wants to get back into headache? He got a bit of dough from the FA and he bowed out. He's not even doing anything with football. You don't even see him as a pundit anywhere. Facts, as City fans, they're useless. Yeah, 100%. If you wanted to go and get people from City, get Berestein, those kind of people who knew about football, but give it a rest. Yeah, man, Aki, big up to you, man. I've been traveling. I'm now in homeland, East Africa. Big up. Vitamin melanin. That vitamin melanin D. Get that melanin D. Get that melanin D. Welcome. Welcome, people. Welcome. You're all in here now. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about... Let me just update you with the scores of the Champions League, actually. We always do that because we go live straight after. Don't we? We go live straight after. So let's update you all. Let's have a look, people. Let's have a look at where we are. Let's have a look at where we are. Okay? Let's share some of the scores. Right, Atlanta 2-1 Club Brugge. I'm a bit surprised about that, actually. Atlanta, I saw them for a game against in Serie A. They didn't look that great without that marvelous coach, that temperamental coach, crazy coach, who's now the Roma coach. So yeah, Club Brugge. Obviously, this was always going to be. Let's not get it twisted. This was always going to be a 5. This I'm really shocked at. Wow, Atletico Madrid are playing really well at the moment. They are on fire. 4th, 30, 70, 80, pen. Wow, crazy. Frankfurt usually should be able to do stuff there. Obviously, Bodo Glimt were 2-0 up. Spurs now, that finished. Chelsea beat Benfica 1-0. Benfica, not the same team anymore. Liverpool and Galatasaray beating Liverpool 1-0. Apparently, Alisson stretched off. Not stretched off, but had to go off because of injury. Inter Milan, Slavia Prague. Yeah, I watched some of this game. You know, I like the Zerbi, and I wanted to see. Actually, Ajax came out really firing tonight. Ajax in the first 5-10 minutes really put it on Marseille. Marseille then got a mistake at the back for Ajax. Bam, first goal, second goal, and then yeah, it went to 4-0. Of course, this was always going to be 5-1. I mean, these people are just making up the numbers. This Pavios team that played Real Madrid, Kyriat, they're all making up the numbers in this big Champions League. But yeah, that's your Champions League news tonight. That's your Champions League news tonight. Oh yeah, they missed the penalty too. Who's at Liverpool? Yeah, big up, man. Evening, Nuruddin. Big up, my friend. Listen, I've not seen you out here for a long time, man. Evening, Nuruddin. Graham Potter next Manchester United by the end of the weekend. Breaking news, Alfredo. I've not seen you for ages, my guy. Big up to you. How about getting rid of our ownership? The ownership, mate. People have to fight. People have to fight to get the owners out. And I don't see any fighting any Manchester United fans. We're not that country, bro. We're not in that place. I'm balanced. I hear Nuruddin's side, or the other side, and these guys are going anywhere. That's the reality. I'm just balanced on. I hear Nuruddin's side and the other side, and these guys ain't going anywhere. They got my Liverpool lose. Liverpool lose. Is that Liverpool have lost? Let's have a look. Let's see, having a look at full time, the Liverpool game. Yes, full time. Let's have a look. Who played? Osimhen. Osimhen penalty. Okay. There you go. Liverpool are a decent team out as well, I'm guessing. Yeah. Liverpool play a good team. Ooh. Bert's played as a number 10, actually. He played inside. Frimpong. Interesting. Played Frimpong as an attacking winger. Fascinating. Yeah. You know, Galatasaray is an intimidating place to go. But yeah, that rounds up your Champions League results tonight, people. Big up the masses, big up the people, big up the people, big up the gang. We're here, people. We're here, we're here, we're here, we're here. I don't know where the rest of the boys are, or if they want to talk. But yeah, it could be that I'm giving you, we're going to do this together. So it could be a nice and easy show, people. It could be a nice and easy show. It could be that me and you are doing this together because I can't see nobody. Nobody's joining in. Blues Pool, big up to you, I'm Tyson. Hi, sorry. We hate watching Liverpool. Sorry, was hate watching Liverpool. Tell us about the game, Carla. Was it a good game? Was the atmosphere intimidating as it usually is in Galatasaray? Ineos just arrived. Realistically, they're not going anywhere. They cannot fix problems being here for decades. Just a few months. Few months? They've not been here for a few months. What are you on about? What are you on about? They've been here for nearly 2 years, mate. Amorim's been here for nearly a year. Are you absolutely? Well, look at this propaganda here. They've been here a couple of months. Yo, I'm gonna start that. Carla, get on it. Let's get the lights up, people. Get the lights up. Get the lights up. Big up the people. Big up the massive. But I love this bit of propaganda, man. Big up to you. I think you might be trolling, but it is what it is. Yo, Nurin, always enjoy your takes on football. Can you give me, get me onto co-host? Cameron, are you on Twitter? If you add me in a tweet on Twitter, I'll check you out and see if you want to come on. Who do you support as well? Get Spalletti. Nobody's talking about that guy. Can handle pressure as Napoli Ultras. Yes. Napoli Ultras. Manchester United would have been embarrassed this season's Champions League. Facts. 100%. That's why I'm glad these people are like, yeah, we would have been washed, mate. Are you telling me we come against Bayern Munich or Real Madrid or Galatasaray or some of these teams, seasoned Champions League people? We're getting washed, mate. Paris Saint-Germain. Even Marseille would have washed us, mate. Yeah, Bombay is not going to be on tonight, apparently. But yeah, Conte suits our squad with midfield additions. But that's what I want here to talk about. So we're just waiting for people to get in. We're settling in now, and then we're going to have the discussion. But it looks like it could be me. It could be just me and you. Me and you, baby. Don't kill me. I'm just being for real. A few months, a year, almost 2 years. Point is that they were never going to fix decades worth of problems. No, they're added to the problems. Sorry. They're added to the problems. First, you try to downplay it. Good try. You give me, what is it? Is it a few months? Is it a year? It's 2 years, man. It's two and a bit years now they've been here, pal. 2 and a bit years they've been here. But, yeah, no problem. We're not here to kill you. Every opinion is welcome, as long as you're not abusive and to the people in the comments as well. Big up. Liverpool are really shit, playing very poorly. Wow. Fans are saying Amorim needs time. Give it time. Give it a time. Wait for the process. Trust the process. I'm going to hear that. Listen, ain't nothing happening. But the biggest thing is that a lot of you fans think everything's going to be all right if we sack Amorim. If we were to sack Amorim, that some of you think we're still going to have to shit midfield unless he plays 3 in midfield. Unless whoever comes in is playing 3 in midfield and is willing to drop Bruno Fernandes. We're still going to be crap. It's still going to be to drop certain players when they're not playing well. Take Luke Shaw out of this. He can't run. He can't play left back anymore. Take Maguire out of this. if you're not doing what the coach wants, then see you in a bit. But yeah, forget the Glazers. Still the core problem. Everyone forgot. Nah, we don't forget that. But Ineos bailed them out. What most of you don't understand, we hate the Glazers, right? But when we talk about Ineos bailed them out. What does that tell you? The vultures who've destroyed this football club in the past 20 years are the Glazers. 2 years ago, Ineos bailed them out. Bailed them out. Look at me. Look into this when you're watching this live. Ineos bailed them out. We might have got a full sale if Ineos didn't bail them out. Rafa Benitez fits the current Manchester United side. Alfredo, you're having it. You're taking the biscuit. You're trolling me now. You're trolling me, pal. You sack him or sack the ones who hired him. Yeah, 100%. I've always stayed consistent. Big up to Saeed for the raid. Big up to Saeed. I've always said that Ruben Amorim is the type of coach that is going to struggle because he's too inexperienced. He played in a well lesser league in the Portuguese league. He come to a club which has an absolute cancer at its core, a cloud above it called Glazonomics, and now Ineos making stupid decisions. I've explained to you already. Wilcox does not have the experience to work at Manchester United. Wilcox, big up to the Turkish ex-Sedan. Big up to Saeed, man, for the raid. Appreciate Saeed for the raid, man. Big up YouTube acting funny, but it is what it is. But yeah, big up to those who joined us. We're thinking about who are the coaches that can fit this Manchester United squad. That's the question we're asking. That is what we want to find out. So big up to everybody. But Ruben Amorim, why is Omar Barada qualified to make the decision to go and get Ruben Amorim as the Manchester United coach? What footballing decisions has Omar Barada made at Man City? Go and find me one. He has not. He was a finance guy, so don't get it twisted. The best in class BS, you were sold a lie. And I was the only one on YouTube that was pointing it out. This community were the only community pointing it out. We were the only people pointing it out going, hold on a minute. Best in class. Best in class, my ass. Best in more like nonsense. So are you shocked? Are you shocked? Shocked at the fact that that's how they want to play? Like, these are the people, and then the way we play. Amorim is out of his depth. Liverpool said no to him. West Ham said no to him. He was in London for a week or something like that, apparently waiting to speak to coaches, teams, clubs. And they said, nah, mate, nah, we're not about this. We have to change too many things for you to basically, we have to change too many things for you to basically, too many of the players, we haven't got the money, and we haven't, but Manchester United were like, oh, my brother's like, we'll take you. You just come in and just, take us to 15. And then, hey, everything will be fine when we get to the next season. And I kept, and this community kept telling you, what is going to change in 2.5 months? Unless they bought in 7 to 8 players, 6 or 7 of them in the starting lineup. The Amorim has a distinct way of playing football. If any of you done your homework, all of you would have known that that is what he sticks to. We did the video on here. Jamie Wayne and all that were here. Majority of the people, the regular URT army were here. And we basically said that he vacates the midfield. He vacates the midfield. He doesn't believe in playing through the midfield. And he doesn't believe in winning second balls. He's not respecting the Premier League enough. And we showed that, we saw enough evidence of that. So now, let's have a look, people. Let's be having you, and let's have a look. Who are the people that can fit? Is it Areola? Is it Glasner? Is it someone like Zerbi? Is it Xavi? Who can fit? That's a question. Let me just set the community question, people, so you can vote. And people, please, let's get to 200 likes ASAP. Let's cut the crap. Don't let me beg you for likes. I'm not asking you to subscribe. I'm not asking you to be a member or any of that. I'm just asking you. I'm shadow banned because I speak for the Palestinians, and I speak for the Sudanese, and I speak for the Congolese, and I speak for the people in the world that are oppressed. And we can never separate our politics from sport or any bullshit like that. By the way, FIFA and UEFA, you're a fucking disgrace. You should ban Israel. You should ban Israel. They've committed a genocide, killed about 700,000 to 800,000 people, and you're still allowing them to compete in your competitions. You absolute fucking cowards. You shitbags. Stop this BS and ban them. You banned Russia in 4 days. Absolute hypocrisy. You shameless cowards. You absolute Zionist lapdogs. That's what you are. You worship Zionism. You Satans. Anyway, so the least you can do, people, is like the video. That's all I'm asking you. But yeah, let's get into the community question. Let's ask the community question, people. Let's ask the community question. Which coach suits this Man U FC team? That's the question. Is it Glasner? I don't want to butcher his name. Areola. I'm butchering Areola's name, man. I can never bloody spell his name. Areola. It's A. Okay, it's A first. A-O. Yeah, Areola. And another Justin Xavi. And another Justin. We'll do it for Conte. You know what? Let's do it for Conte because Bombay is not here. Conte. Yeah? Let's do that. Get in the poll, people. Get in the poll. Interact. Remember, every time we go live on United Real Therapy, we will always have a poll. So get interacting. And more importantly, please like the video. Help me fight against this shadow ban. I'm not asking for too much. I'm just asking for you to support the people. Big up to Saeed, man. Love to my brother. Big up, King. His watch-alongs are always funny. But yeah, people, it's over 300 of you in here. Please smash the like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Did the Turkish leave AFTV because of Gaza? Most likely. Sometime, maybe. I know Muhammad did. Remember Muhammad did. Yeah, he wasn't allowed to wear his Free Palestine badge, or he wasn't allowed to wear his Palestine, the badge that he had in his coat. He wasn't allowed to wear that. And he saw that dickhead with Saeed. What's that dickhead called who works at AFTV? You saw him try to tell Saeed to take it off, chatting shit to Saeed. I wish I was there that day. I swear to God, he would have got slapped from me. Yeah, we can't get flipped, bro. We're not getting flipped. We have to look at the realistic. Realistic. Bombay. I chose Conte, yeah. Julian. That's that dickhead. That Zionist piece of shit. Mo was fired, which was out of order. Julian. Fuck Julian. Yeah. F that Julian. But yeah, people get involved. So let me just quickly see who we've got here now. Oh, Xavi, 35%. Wow, he's going crazy. Xavi at the moment. Glasner, 38. Wow, it's crazy, people. So many of you are voting. Let's get to the first 100 likes, people. Let's get to the first 100 likes. Glasner, 42%. Areola, 10%. Xavi, 28%. Conte, wow, he's going berserk, people. The votes are going in so fast, and he's going berserk. So the least you could do is smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. But yeah, what do you guys, we'll find out. We'll definitely get your vote, who it is. So I've been thinking long and hard about this. I have been thinking long and hard about this. And what I've been thinking is that Manchester United squad, I've been looking at the squad. You want me to get it up? Let's have a look at the squad. Let me find the squad so we can see. Manchester United squad. Manchester United squad 2025. 2025, 26. So let's get the squad up, man. Let's get this squad up. Let me show you this squad. So let me show you. So I'm going to show you this squad, and then we're going to go through where we're going to see which coach that we think that can help this. So there's our squad. There is our squad. Yeah, this is who we have. This is who we have in our squad. Specifically, I'm looking at the midfield. So the midfielders we have is Kobe, Casemiro, Mason Mount can play there. Well, in a 3, he could play there in a 3. Mason Mount. We've got Bruno Fernandes. We've got Manuel Ugarte. And who else do we have? Yeah, that's who we have. So the midfielders, we have Bruno, Kobe, Casemiro, and Manuel Ugarte. They're the these who can play as a number 10. But I actually think Mason Mount could play a little bit in a 3. In a 3, he could play there. He could be one of the 8. He's done it for England. I've seen him do it for Chelsea. So he can play that role, but he's hardly ever fit in it. He's hardly ever fit. This is not Manchester United squad properly, man. Let me show the images, man. Let me have a look at them. This is not a proper Manchester United squad. What are they doing to me, man? What's Google doing to me, man? Manchester United squad, that's all I'm looking for. There we go. Let's go to the website. Can't believe I'm doing it. Reject all, mate. But yeah, this is where we are. He's no longer there. They've not even updated it. Look at this. They've not even updated, so he's not here. Let me see it. But yeah, this is our midfielders. This is the midfielders, yeah? These are the midfielders. Hey, big up, Jarvis. Big up. People are in here now.
Yeah, big up.
Yeah. We're here to have the debate, people. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Big up to Ben. Big up to Jarvis. This is not going to be a long stream, but I really, really wanted to get this because I'm thinking beyond Amorim, because I genuinely do believe Amorim is sacking himself. And I'm thinking in the future, because we've been linked with a lot of names. And let me just remove this 1 second and welcome the guys. Big up to Jarvis. Big up to Ben. How you doing, Jarvis? Bodo Glimt was so close, man. I really wanted them to win.
I don't know if did you see the game or did you just see
I saw bits of it. 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there. Yeah, they played well.
They did, and I felt that they should have won the game. You know, they were okay. Look at the stats: 18 shots to 8 against Spurs. But just the way they played football, and you know, I'm super happy we don't have Thomas Frank as our manager, because he's a boring mother effer. How he played it football, you know, it was deep crosses, long throw-ins, was like set pieces that took forever, corner kicks. You know, you just sit
tactically,
there.
He tries to manage the game tactically. He tries to manage the game tactically.
But he knew he was struggling. He was trying to stall the time, and I felt Bodo Glimt were much better, you know, on the ball. They tried to play the ball. They tried to play through the midfield. They tried to play direct. But, you know, they were up 2-0. They missed a penalty. Spurs, they scored, and there was an own goal on the second goal. So it's just one of those. But, you know, obviously Spurs have the better quality because they are a bigger team. They have better players. But, you know, I think Bodo Glimt gave it a good shot, gave it a fair shot. And, you know, I'm proud of the boys. So it's good to have at least someone to root for when it comes to the Champions League, but it's because it's not going to be Man United. We all know that.
Could you imagine? I said it earlier. We would have got smashed if we played Real Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich. We would have been.
We would have been smashed against Bodo Glimt, I tell you.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially away.
Yeah, 100%.
We would. Definitely.
the way we play. Big up Dagger. We need a combination of ex-Fergie players to come in and staff bring the right culture back into the dressing room and on the pitch. Yeah, maybe do we have to go back though? That's the thing about it. As long as the Glazers are here, man, it's gonna be helter skelter. Ben, how you doing? Hope you're well.
Yes, big up everyone. Good evening everyone. Hit the likes, people. Subscribe. Yeah, man, I'm good, man. Glad the Scousers lost again tonight. Yeah, today's been good, man. Today's been good. Family's well. Family's all healthy.
That's good.
Just blessed every day, man. Hope you're well too, Nerdin. And
Listen, how's your nana, bro?
oh, she's been absolutely fantastic, man. The nurse went over to her house there on Monday, yesterday, and checked her bloods, and her bloods are absolutely phenomenal. So whatever's going on with this treatment, it's working fabulous, man. And we did a wee bit more research on the cancer. Apparently, if you've obviously ate well, like done all your exercise, obviously my nana's like she's in her late 80s now, she was very active on the walks and stuff. They've all said there. We've looked up more information about the cancer that she might be able to live at least. She could be a big high chance that could be 5 years, which is massive news, man. Yeah, and it's great, man. Like, look, at the end of the day, it can't be cured, but you know what, man? Like, this is where it all is, man. Like, in these next few years, it's all about spending those last few memories with her. So. Look, at the end of the day, man, fuck cancer. It is what it is. It's everywhere, people. Look after yourselves and enjoy your loved ones while you can. So, yeah, man. But she's great, man. She's really great. She's keeping well, and that's the most important thing, man. That's the most important thing. Yeah, big up everyone that's in the. I see a lot of people in the comments. Thank you.
Yeah, big up everybody. Big up everybody in the chat, in the comments, man. Love. Let's get the
big up the Faz.
Man. Big up appreciate the super chat. It says if you lose against Sunderland, is relegation a possibility? Well, we are in relegation from the way we were playing from last season. So yeah, yeah.
33 points in 33 games. I think that's
unbelievable. I don't think no other manager survives that. 100,000,000%. No other manager survives those stats. No. It's damning. It's the most damning. But people, seriously, genuinely, it's really good that you two guys are here. But yeah, big up to all the panel. Bumbaya can be here. Ruani's probably driving, working. Alesso's probably working as well. But love to them, Sean. Hopefully I'll ask them. But I really wanted to have, because I don't want to have a very superficial thing to think, we're going to accept the next coach. I'm looking at the Manchester United squad and I'm going to ask you, who do you think suits, which coach do you think suits the Manchester, specifically the midfield? Our biggest problem in this team is that the wing backs are not good enough, right? And the midfield is we're getting Moses on a daily. You know what I mean? Moses, they're parting the sea. We're getting parted. We're getting parted. We're getting Moses, mate. Moses is there with his stick parting it about. Every team does a Moses job on us. That's what happens to Manchester United. So I am looking at it. In my head, I'm like, it has to be a coach that is adaptable. That is a coach that has to understand the players that you have. And it has to be a coach, I agree with you, Jarvis, that is more on pragmatic side, because we can't play open. And
no, you're not good enough.
Solskjaer tried it and got smashed on a regular towards the end. Ten Hag couldn't try it. He tried it, and then we were getting his version, his interpretation was even more.
He won the FA Cup when he tried it. So he should have done it more. That's the thing.
Sure.
Yeah. But anyway, he instead of trying his way, he invented a new style called basketballification of football, where we all just run back, vacate everywhere, and everybody's doing all the players are sprinters. And if you look at the game against Brentford, some of our players were doing exactly the same, running back like this, doing that. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I still don't know where he was going for that goal. But I still don't know where he was going. Like, he forgot that he was a wing back, and he went to centre back. Like, he just ran to the middle. I'm like, what are you doing?
Not even a Sunday league would do that.
It was the most realistic. Honestly, it was like Forrest Gump, bro. You know what I mean? Run, Forrest, run.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good
You start doing
Run,
run,
Dallas,
Forrest,
one.
run,
Forrest, get
run!
away!
Diego,
Hurry!
run, hurry. That's what it was. People smash the like. Let's get to 200 likes.
Come on,
Big
people.
up. Ola says, I think they're going to give him the season. Boy, oh boy. That's music to my ears. I always
I
said
hope.
relegation might get us,
Facts.
get rid of the Glazers. So bring it on. Big up is to be the creator. I wouldn't mind using Carrick's interim, waiting for after the World Cup. There's few managers that will be available after that competition. Nah, man. You can't write off the season. I don't want to write off the season, but yes, it'd be difficult to get coaches out of contract. I do think maybe interim might have to do, but it's going to be an interest to see what combination. I don't think it's just Carrick himself. It has to be with somebody else. I really believe that there has to be another person. But I want to go back to the squad, and I want to ask you two, and I want to ask Ben first. Ben, you have been quite. You rate like me. Obviously, me and Jarvis really always talked about Areola. We love his aggressive style of football, the counter pressing. It's unbelievable. But this is who we have as midfielders at Manchester United. At this moment in time, these two are on loan, Dan Gore. So this is what we have. We have these. He can only play in a 3 as a 10. He can only play in a 3 as a 10, really. But if you push it and then berate, but he commits too many fouls. He's good at on the trigger press, but he can never stay fit. And then you got Kobe. So you basically got Kobe, Ugarte, Casemiro. That's the people who can play in the midfield. And you got Bruno, who can play in a 3 ahead of them, slightly just ahead of them. So which of the coaches that I have put in part of the poll, everybody, let's see, let me just get this. How many people voted? Nearly 100 people have voted. And yeah, at this moment in time, Glasner is the guy that everybody, 39% have said Glasner, 17% Areola, Xavi 29, and Conte at 16%. So Conte 16%, Areola 17%, Xavi 29%. We're way ahead is Glasner. So who do you think that can fit these three? Eddie Howe would be perfect, but we're not getting him. He's not leaving Newcastle.
No, man.
They're playing in the Champions League. Yeah. So thinking about this midfielders, who do you think, in your humble opinion and your football knowledge, that you think can suit the coaches? They don't have to be the 4 that I've got on the list. They don't have to be Xavi, Conte, Areola, or Glasner. They don't have to be. They can be somebody else. But go ahead. Tell me your guy. People, let's get to 200 likes ASAP, man. Let's do it.
Jarvis, do you want to go first?
Yeah, we have some options. You didn't mention the Brighton manager, Fabian Hürsler, the young guy. I think he's quite good. But the good thing with him, he doesn't play with a midfield. He actually sometimes play 5-0-5, and he vacates the midfield and overloads and play with the deep defense and stretch the team. And he does all kind of crazy stuff. But I like him. I like he's a expansive guy. He thinks outside the box, but maybe not suited for the current moment as Man United. I have to say that just to.
Yes, yeah. Jarvis, I do not want him anywhere near Manchester United if he vacates the midfield. You can play 5 against 5, whatever you want, 10, 20 people up front. I do not want any coach who vacates the midfield anywhere ever near Manchester United. But go ahead.
Yeah, and I think it's time to do something drastic. We need to go back to our roots. Not saying we're going to hire one of the ex-players, but we need someone with a little bit of guts who knows the history of Man United. I want to go back to play with wingers. People talk about modern football. You got to remember in the 90s and 2000s, most of the teams, especially in the beginning of the 2000s, most of the team play 4-4-2. Or maybe 4-3-3. But, when you play 4-4-2 in the Man United style, you play compact centrally and you make space for the wingers. Now it's about overloading the wide areas. But by then, you let the wingers play by themselves. Sometimes they got some help from the fullbacks, overlapping or underlapping, mostly overlapping. But it was about setting up like Ryan Giggs 1-against-1 or 1-against-2, but they could do it. They weren't afraid. But we were always solid centrally back in the days. Then football changed a little bit, and now it's all about look at Michel, look at Hürsler, look at Amorim, look at Ten Hag, the modern way of playing football. It's all about trying to overload the not the danger areas anymore. It's just trying to control the game. But I think Amorim is totally missing the target in the way he plays, because you're not able to dominate the game if you can't even play out from the back. And how are you supposed to keep the ball? Because every time we end up playing it long and direct. And what's the consequence of playing it long and direct? You get a duel, and it's at the best 50-50. So you end up losing the ball 50% of the time. So I'm not very impressed by the Amorim tactic. I think we have, in the beginning at least, we try to play out. We try to attract the press, to trigger them, to come high so we could hit them when the space opened. But now we're not even trying. We're just hitting it long. So for me, I think Amorim has totally missed the mark. And the Brentford game was the worst performance I've seen in a long time. And it says a lot, because we have been dreadful in the last 33 games, but now we are at the new low. So the only one on this list that I can actually see doing bits, I don't want Glasner, because I think Glasner is a result of a good structure and a team that hits from punches from below. And I also think Xavi is too expensive. We're not Barcelona. We will never be Barcelona. We can't play that type of football. So forget about it. Conte ball, we saw him at Spurs. I think it will be too defensive. We won't be happy. It will go 6 months, and then we all want Conte out, because we know Old Trafford, they shout attack, 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 attack. So out of the options you have put there in the poll, Nuruddin, for me, there's only one guy, and that's Andoni Iraola. I love how he set up his team. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question, Java? Do we have the player personnel in our squad to be able to play the counter-pressing, aggressive runners, physicality? Do you think we've got the squad, the physical squad, to be able to cope with the demands that he has? When I watch him, I watch every time they play, I watch the highlights of their games. The way that everybody is aggressive, is relentless. And towards the end of the season, they run out of gas, because the players are so tired, because he doesn't have a big squad. The players are so tired, but they give everything. They absolutely leave everything on the football pitch. They counter press the shit. Win, lose, or draw. They're doing the same things. How Semenya, they go out, they're hustling, they're running. The back, two midfield go out and press the back five, and then they drop off sometimes. They'll go to a mid block, and depending on the game as well, they'll go to a low block, right? This is the types of things that what he does. Do we have I think it's already been proven with Erik ten Hag and now Amorim. We don't have, and at times as well, Areola's asking you to play man for man. He's asking you to play man for man. He's depending on you winning duels to be able to winning your duels to be able to do what needs to be done. So I find that thing, and I'm just looking at specifically what we have here. And by the way, somebody was saying, Tam was saying, shouldn't we get rid of like Bruno and Casemiro? I'm like, listen, if it was up to me, I would go and get Iraola and go and get him Elliot Anderson and go and get Baleba in January. If you're telling me that, if you're saying to me, go and get Elliot Anderson, right? I'm spend 130 million on Elliot Anderson and Baleba in January, then yeah, I could see Iraola working, because those two have got lungs on them. Those two will cover a lot more ground. So if you say to me to get rid of Bruno and Casemiro in January, Are you kidding me? 100 million%. 100 million%. So what do you think to what I said, Jarvis?
Well, there's a lot of things when I want to break down what you're saying, because when you look at Bournemouth, they have the true they play with the double pivot too. They have Tyler Adams, an American soccer player, and Ryan Christie. None of them are flashy players. They work hard. They work their socks off. They run up and down all the time. But when it comes to Iraola, you play compact football, and this is what we like. We like compact football. We like people staying together, but it's not compact only this way. It's compact this way. You don't stretch out the teams. You don't have to sprint all over the place, up and down all the time. You attack and press as a unit. You defend as a unit, and I think that's one of the key elements in football. And I think now football is reverting back to 90s, to the 2000s. You see a lot of long throw-ins, set pieces, corner kicks. We have setups. They're swarming the goalkeeper area. So much that reminds me of the back in the days, because I think this possession based tiki taka kind of football is on its way out, and that's why you see, for example, now Pep Guardiola is struggling because the physical and the technical levels is gone up on the physical players. I think the average now in the Premier League I think it's already somewhere 6'2" height.
Yeah.
So,
The
yeah.
physicality.
So,
Yeah.
the physicality has gone up. So it's more and more about physicality, and that's the game. We
what
need
they're
more
doing
physical
now,
players.
what they're doing now, Jarvis, is just getting a very tall, physically strong that can run. Not about anything modern football. I didn't
No, you don't
notice
have
it
to
in
run.
the last.
No, you
Not
don't
even
have
in
to
the
be
last 5 years, really. That's been going in the last 5-6 years. It's been going like that. Nowadays, you don't have to be that good of an intelligent footballer to use your brain. You just have to be physically fit and can run. You have to be physically strong, certain height, and be able to run. You look at what the squads are made out of, and constantly recycling the ball, not risking it. There's not risking it anymore because the midfield demands are not there to win the ball back. But I understand what you're saying, and I think somebody here was saying that, I think the counter press, winning the ball double with Areola would be, to me, I see this from Dave, that it would be a bit of a risk unless you have people like who are unselfish. Jarvis, what is a young American guy good at? He used to play at Leeds. He runs everywhere. That's what I'm saying. If you got me, go and get Elliot Anderson and Baleba.
Tyler Adams,
100%. Those two can, with that midfield, those two would work their socks off for the team. So that if Areola gets that 100%, people are saying it's similar to they play similar, but I think he's not obsessed. Glasner, to be fair, Glasner is not obsessed with the two in midfield. I've heard an interview with him where he talks about I've played all sorts of formation. I actually saw one game where he played what you like, Jarvis, the box midfield, where he played 4-4-2, like with a box midfield to try to get hold of the ball and to counter press even more. You know what I mean? But they both counter press. They're based on winning the ball back, setting teams traps for teams, and then doing it. But Ben, go ahead. Jarvis has argued his point perfectly. Let me just get the super chat before you go. It has to be Glasner, but Doubt will get him
mid-season.
Okay.
Mid-season.
Big up.
Get him mid-season.
Yeah. Go on, Ben.
I mean, when it comes to the next coach, man, I mean, personally, if I had a choice, I don't think we should give it like bringing another coach. I think we should just do an interim for the rest of the season, or keep Amorim for the rest of the season. But I highly doubt they're going to keep him. If I keep him, get stacked. In terms of like what coach I would love to bring in, I don't want Xavi. I just don't want any. I'm just sick to death of bringing coaches from outside of the Premier League. Completely done now. Xavi, I mean, he looks very promising. But the fact that he loves and adores Bruno Fernandes, he can stay the fuck away from my club. Glasner, I think Glasner, I like Glasner, but the issue is with Glasner is he has two defensively minded midfield players in that double pivot. And with this team, there's more 10s than fucking defensively minded players. So the only defensively minded player we actually have in this team is Casemiro and Toby Collier. But yeah, man, look, I think my I mean, URT should probably know who my dream coach is that I think will take us back to the top or even lay down the foundations. And simply, I don't give a fuck if it's too hard. They're struggling too at the moment. They are struggling too. Is Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe is the guy right now, man, because I watched the Arsenal game. I've watched all of their fucking games, and what I pay attention to the most, I don't give a fuck what they do on the ball. I know Eddie Howe is a very possession based, like, coach when it comes to the 4-3-3, but it's off the ball. And see, when you look at Joe Litton, Tonali, and Bruno Guimaraes, it's a breath of fresh air in football, man. They don't leave each other. They seriously don't leave each other, man. They're about I don't know, about 2 or 3 meters apart from each other. They're so close to each other, man. It's actually a breath of fresh air, man. And I said, it reminds me of the Ollie days and when he was interim. I watched the Cardiff game, man. When it was Pogba, Matic, and Herrera, and it was exact same situation. Pogba, Matic, and Herrera were just exactly beside each other. It was absolutely mental, and I was like if only of them three stayed fit, man, that was the issue, man. But look, Eddie Howe's the guy, and the one issue I have with Eddie Howe is Bruno Fernandes. It's just Bruno Fernandes because Bruno is the poster boy. He's everything this match at this club. We have to accept that. So regardless of what manager we're going to bring in, we have to focus on Bruno Fernandes, whether he's going to play or not. If he doesn't, it's got to be if he's gone, if he wasn't in this club, it's got to be Ugarte, Menu, and Casemiro. That three is so balanced. Yes, Ugarte's shit in the ball, but we just have to cope with it this season, man. Like, it's on Ineos for not bringing in a midfielder for Amorim. So it's all down the line, man. So Nerd, and I know you said from the start there of the show it's going to be impossible to get Eddie Howe because he wants Champions League football. Newcastle are struggling at the moment. I don't generally think they're struggling because they're playing awful. I generally think it's because partially they've been unlucky, and another one is the environment is so fucked at the moment because of Isak. Isak really has killed the environment and the culture of the football club. So, and with Areola, Bournemouth's a big club, but it's not as big as Newcastle. Newcastle is a huge club. It's got a lot of history, and that's why I'm going all in for Eddie Howe. I'd pay 15 to 20 million pounds. I really don't care, man. This guy is the one I'm not saying he's the guy who's going to be the next Fergie or any of that shit. I just want someone to come in and coach these fucking players and lay down the foundations. And that's it, man. Eddie Howe or nothing for me. I'm sick of it. I'm not buying any more foreign managers from outside the Premier League. I'm not having it.
Do you have a number 2, Ben? If you can't
A number 2, I love Areola. I really love Areola, but you know what it is, man? Like, it just comes back. I don't want to play a double pivot. I want to play a 3 in the pivot. I don't want to play any more number 10s, cams. People will say, oh, what would Ten Hag do if he came back? It'd be the exact same thing. We'd be getting bopped around the park. If Ten Hag just went back, if I was Ten Hag, if Ten Hag just went back to his basics and told Bruno, don't be a cam anymore, be a midfielder, we'd be a much better position, man. It's just so easy to, like, if I was a United coach, it's just so simple to coach the 3 in midfield and not have any attacking minded midfielders. Just all 3 of them just work together as a unit. They're both defensively and attacking. See with Tonali, people think Tonali is the most defensive minded player in the Newcastle team. But he's not. Like, they're both all taking in turns. Sometimes Joe Linton's the furthest back. Sometimes Bruno Guimaraes is the furthest back. It's just it's a breath of fresh air. I love Eddie Howe's system. But if you were to ask me for a second option, I can't believe I'm saying this. Honestly, fucking what do you call him? Enrique. I don't care, man. Enrique is the exact same system as Eddie Howe. 3 in the pivot. All 3 of them working as a unit up and down the pitch. None of this 2 in the pivot and then always that one player who's always up on the pitch. I don't want to play that anymore. I don't. But Eddie Howe's my guy. And I know obviously Enrique is, it is impossible. It is beyond impossible because he's at a stable football club, and they won the Champions League. But it's Eddie Howe or nothing for me, man. I'm sorry.
Big up to you. Big up to Planet Vaz. Big up. He says, bring Southgate. He's come to troll us. He's on his trolling season. That's how bad it is, man. Let me enjoy this comedy. Big up to you, man. Love. So who do I think suits Manchester United? I think the most adaptable coach right now in the Premier League is Glasner.
Right, okay.
I think he's the most adaptable. I think he will adapt to whatever. I think he has the most experience. But would he come in the end? And what plans? But again, you have to have a physicality. He's coaching a team that's underdog, that has the underdog type of feel about it. And would he, I always said even before he went to, because I was impressed with his Europa League run with Frankfurt, what they did in the Europa League wasn't easy. He had players like Kameda, who are now, who were the striker in his team for Frankfurt, if I'm not mistaken, and now who's a midfield player, defensive midfield player. Can you imagine that? He plays Kameda now, the Japanese player, Jarvis. I don't know if you know.
No,
but Kameda was in the Frankfurt team that won the Europa League, and he was the striker. He was one of the strikers. And now for Crystal Palace, he's almost kind of like the midfield player, like part of the 2 or 3. Sometimes I've seen him put, in certain games he'll change it. He'll play 3 in there, or 2 in there. He doesn't mind, and he talks about multiple formations. But I just think you have to bring Iriola. You have to bring running. You have to bring humble footballers who humble themselves to working hard for the team. I always forget the US kid and Christie. These are workhorses. They absolutely work. And then the other guy who got injured last season, he got injured towards the end. I think he might have got injured against us or something. But that young kid they produced as well, he was a physical monster in that midfield. So if you bring in them, then I'll take Iriola, because I always liked Iriola. But when I look at it now, I think that Glasner, because he has the experience. I just feel as though he has the experience to look at what we've got now and to try to help us to get out of trouble. By the way, nobody's buying to come and play attacking football. Nobody's getting coaches to come and take United to the Champions League. I don't think our squad is good enough. I really don't. A lot of big up to all. I love all of them, yeah. But they and some other people, like, was it Sean and some of the other people, Luani and that, overrate our team. I think our players are crap.
Dreadful.
But the thing is, Northern, things can change pretty quick when it comes to football. We all remember Leicester, for example, almost get relegated, wins the league the year after. So things can turn quickly. So
they had Kante, they had Mahrez, they had Vardy. So in that, you've got an incredible playmaker in Mahrez. You've got Kante, who could run like 2 people. You've got Vardy, who was just on a Red Bull. Literally, what it says on the tin, he's flying everywhere. And he was a goal scorer, really hungry. Then you had other hungry players who believed in a time where the Premier League was not in a bad way. I understand what he's saying. The same thing you could say in Newcastle. They went from fighting relegation to being in the Champions League. Yes, and it's about sometimes getting a coach with the right mentality. But I genuinely look at this team. Casemiro's done out here. Bruno is a weak. He loses so fucking many duels. So when I look at this team, I'm like, who is going to provide that? Somebody who's going to coach the fuck out of Manuel Ugarte and say to Manuel, you just do this thing. Get on that football pitch. Don't be committing fouls right, left, and centre. Let's do this. Kobe Manu, I need you to move around and do this. But Kobe hasn't got the physicality either, even though he's been doing a lot of gym work and all of that, working really hard. So yes, I understand what you're saying, Jared.
It's too heavy. Kobe is too heavy.
But what I'm saying to you is that I look at the physicality of our team, and the physicality is lacking. It's so lacking. And the biggest thing about that Ranieri team, when they won, they had physicality. They had Higginbottom, they had Kante in midfield, and they played 4-4-2. And they had Mahrez on one side.
Captain Morgan was the midfielder. The
centre half, yes. They had
yeah.
these guys who wanted to go and die. So
Yeah.
there is that swing can happen, but it has to happen in a club where not like Manchester.
Yeah, but Nordin, let me tell you
These
something.
three honest that we
We
have,
talk about you talk about
they don't want to
vacating
die
the
on the football pitch. Leicester were willing to die on the football pitch, those players for Ranieri. And he kept saying
they
to
were
them,
100%.
we get pizza. Every time we win, we get a pizza. He took them out to Nashville and every time they won.
Can I ask you why?
Sorry, but you talk about vacating the midfield, but what's actually going on right now is most of the teams are vacating the striker position, and they get an extra guy. Look at Brighton; they beat Chelsea the other day. The striker is Rutter, Jorginho Rutter. He have scored 0 goals this season. He's their striker, and this is the modern football, and I think maybe Amorim is onto something, playing the false nine as he did in the preseason. But maybe we should just revert and play with an extra midfielder and vacate the striker position, because I agree when it comes to the midfield, you can't vacate the midfield because that's the heart of the game, and you also always games are won and lost through the midfield. But physicality is not just physical strength and height.
No,
When you talk about Brighton, for example, Brighton's double pivot is Ardan Ayari, the Swedish little
really
skinny guy, and
really
Baleba.
like he's got such an incredible energy. You've seen his songs, his fitness level, the way he closes down people, the way so much quality on the ball as well. Brilliant player.
Can I ask you not as a question? Why would you not why would you not take Eddie Howe?
I would take Eddie Howe. I told you.
If you had a choice between Eddie Howe,
he's gonna come, Ben. I don't think he's gonna.
No. But if he was, who would you take? Would you take over Areola?
To me, because Eddie Howe ticks every box in that. He understands the British game. He at Portsmouth, he was a very attacking coach. He used to play very expansive, and then he went around and studied. He went around Europe and studied. And I see the midfield that he's built. He's improved. I mean, Joe Linton, to turn a failing striker to one of the most physical footballers in the Premier League. Yes, but do I also think that he's also burns out Newcastle? Newcastle burn out as well. But in the big finals, for me, he showed he learned as well. United, we beat them in that final. They played Liverpool, and he learned every lesson. The game against Liverpool, he controlled every minute and every second of that game. Tactically, technically, he controlled that game, and he outcoached. Absolutely outcoached. Was it Arne Slot? Yeah, Arne Slot. He outcoached him. And Liverpool had the winners. They're supposed to be the winners, and it was easy peasy. Liverpool didn't even put a glove on them except for the last 2 minutes of the game or last 5 minutes of the game. So I would take Eddie Howe. I'm on record. I've always.
I've seen the videos.
But it wasn't popular to say Eddie Howe because there's something I liked about him and the way he is with players. The way that I have never looked at an Eddie Howe team thinking the players are not putting it in. I have never done that. I have never looked at a team and gone, you know what? They're not putting it in. Even Bournemouth. Bournemouth have 11,000 fans. You know what that is? That's a little corner of the Stretford end. That's like that's a TIL. You know the singing section of the Stretford end? That's their stadium. And he kept them in the Premier League in all those years. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. But I would take Eddie Howe 100 million%. I actually really think that it's going to fail with Tuchel, and FA are going to demand him to take the England job. I really think that. I really think that. And also because he had some bad in health. He had pneumonia and a couple of things have been going on with him and stuff like that. He was in hospital. He was in hospital and stuff like that. So maybe he might take the England. England might give him that job. And everybody's saying he is the next England guy. England went and spoke to him. But that's what. But Jarvis, I'm going to take it away. Why would you take Eddie Howe? Or would you just take Areola better?
Yeah, but for me, when it comes to manager, I always think what you told me, Noradin. We always want the savior. We always want a hero to come in and save us. But I think it's much more than one guy who have to come in and save us. And the other thing, I'm not that
Yeah, I was
when
just
it
to
comes
say, I'm talking about somebody to stop the bleeding. Manchester United in the
yeah.
the
We need to
first team
plug the holes.
bleeding at
Yeah,
this moment in time is bleeding. That's what I'm talking about.
yeah.
I'm not looking for a savior. I actually would think that just to stabilize the football club, just to stabilize the football club, what could carry on. 100%.
Yeah,
I am with you 100,000,000%. Until the Glazers and Ineos fuck off out of this football club, and we have a complete reset, and we have fans, players, and coaches been actually connecting, then we're not going to get anywhere. The 20 years of Glazer neglect and ownership, and Ineos making huge mistakes, deserves a relegation, Jarvis. We deserve to be relegated for the way that we've managed this football club, the way that we've managed to decline. Go ahead.
Yeah, as I was saying, for me, the debate is not about names, because I feel the debate will be too shallow. Then we need to talk proper football to understand what we are talking about, because we hear debates: who's the better, Messi or Ronaldo or whatever. It's like dominating debates.
No, Jarvis. No, we're not saying it.
No. Let me finish. Let me just finish my point. I'm not saying that you
that's
do
not
it.
what we're doing. We're saying what is better for the squad that we have.
Yes, I'm
That's
talking
what
in
we're saying.
general, but we have to realize what direction we want to go into, because when it comes to football, there's so many directions we could go into by footballing styles. We have direct play, you have counter-attacking football, we can go with wing play, with crosses, we can play total football with positional play as Pep do, we can play the Italian style catenaccio, sit back with the sweeper, we can play the German style Klopp with gegenpress Ragnick thing, we can play pragmatic football, sit back and like Carlo Ancelotti or Louis van Gaal. There's so many directions we can go into, but I think if we choose a direction, we should stick with it. This is where I think the debate should be. What direction should Man United go into, playing style-wise? For me, I would rather us revert back to the older days, play more crosses, more wing play. But, the basis of always have to be hard work, physicality, strong team. We all remember what Ferguson started his glory days with. It was strong guys. We had Mark Hughes, we had Paul Ince, Roy Keane, we had Peter Schmeichel, we had Pallister, Bruce, everybody tough as nails. And now we have nothing,
But
no
they could
tough
also play
guys on the
football.
pitch.
They were tough as nails, but they could play football.
Yes, but what's tough as nails? We could go up against Wimbledon and play rough football, but we could also play against Barcelona and play possession football. So we had a lot of tools in our locker, but I think we need to choose a direction and stick with it. Right now, as a club, we have been going in every direction. We wanted to play total football under Van Gaal. We wanted to play pragmatic football under Mourinho. We wanted to play counter-attacking football under Oli. We wanted to play Ajax football under Ten Hag. And now we want to play the Portuguese 3-4-3 type of football, direct play, as Amorim is doing. We are choosing a new direction every fucking time. I'm sick of it. We need to stick with a direction and start with that. For me, it doesn't matter what name. I want to know what type of direction we are going it style-wise, and I want to stick with it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And if we sack the manager, bring in another manager who plays the same type of style, because we want and go from the academy, from the 8-year-olds all the way up to the first team. That's how you run the club.
I 100% agree. I don't think I disagree with anything. Yeah. I'm just looking at specifically right now. For what you're asking for, we'll have to get rid of Glazeronomics. We'll have to get rid of the clowns, the best in nonsense. I've already proven to people that they have zero experience. Wilcox, I know Barada have zero experience to be the positions they're in at Manchester United. Best in class was the biggest fucking nonsense I have ever. The propaganda, and we called it out straight away. We knew it was bullshit. It was PR bullshit, PR jargon. So at the end of the day, I 100,000,000% agree with you. What you're asking for is this football club to act like a football club. We're not a football club. We're not a football club, Jarvis. So what we're asking right now It's that whether Amorim goes 1st of November, the end of November, that time is going to become, because it's going to get untenable. I promise you now. People are going to walk out of Old Trafford. I promise you.
Nah,
If we get
no
smashed in the
chance.
next 3 to 4 games,
No
if they want to stick with him, people are going to walk out. I promise you.
Yeah, maybe a
People-
few, but not a lot. Nerd, come on,
No.
like we're giving this fan base too much credit, man. Like,
But
bro,
anyway,
there's a reason we've been here for 20 years, man. But there's a
But an-
reason.
yeah. So 100%, I agree, Ben, as well. But what we're at the moment, we're not doing this coach against this coach. No, we're not doing that. Please don't people misunderstand. We're not saying who's better. We're talking about with the players in the squad that we have right now, with the constraints that Manchester United is not a football club, it's a Branchester and it's a PR machine. We're asking the question with the players that are here now, because they're not going to be able to move them. Who do you think can get something out of them to stop the bleeding? That's what the question is. That's what the question is. And I'm just putting some of the names out there because apparently Galatasaray is saying, yeah, he'll come to United. Xavi is like, yeah, I want to be there, but Ben's like, if he rates Bruce.
No.
Ben, whoever comes in, Ben, you have to take this. Whoever comes in is going to play Bruno Fernandes. Whoever comes in is going to play Casemiro.
They keep Amorim. They keep Amorim.
When every coach comes in, they're going to look to the experienced players, and they're going to be asking what the experience will, relying on them, and try to talk to them to get them on side to keep the coach in a job. At the end of the day, it's up to the football club. The first thing that I would do when I come back as a coach, if I was to go in there, I'm bringing Collier back from on loan. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. And I swear to God, I would take even if you got Collier and Dangor back, and you just said, you know what, Kobe, you three, I promise you, I swear, from what we're seeing now, you telling me Dangor and Collier and Kobe couldn't do. They'll do all the running for him. Dangor is quite feisty. He runs a lot. He's not a slouch, but he's also very technical on the ball. Jarvis, I would give that 3 in midfield 10 to 15 games. I would.
100%.
Now I want to ask
and we
you.
also have Manukune who can come in and actually do a job.
Yeah, but to be fair, Jarvis, he's still recovering. I've been asking about people locally. He's still
during the season, then he will come. Let's say Christmas or
he's still recovering from that horrific injury he sustained. It's really bad because he was the guy that was supposed to be the breakthrough. This
a broken eye socket or something.
It's broken. I think he might shatter the bone, and that is really serious. Some people are saying we might have to wear a mask for, like mask permanently. And some players don't like anything. They have to get used to playing with masks or whatever. But let me just quickly have a look and see where we are in terms of the likes. People, you're slacking. We haven't got 200 likes yet. We're not even close. Some of you are taking the piss. So the least you can do is like the video. So, which coach suits this Man U FC team? And I think majority in the panel have gone for Glasner. It's 41%. Over 149 people have voted. Iriola 70%, Xavi 26%, Conte 15%. And I think the Xavi, because people think we're going to be able to play that type of style of football, but we're not. Xavi, by the time it takes him to respect the Premier League, he's going to be out of a job. By that time, we're going to be saying, get him out of here. That's what we're going to be doing. So, but this is what. But it's the question I wanted to ask you guys. If we can't get people out of contract, so Iriola apparently has not signed a new contract. Iriola he's got buyout clause. Iriola's got buyout clause to get him out.
We're talking 10 millions. It's not
something
too much.
like that. Something like that. Yeah, him and coaching staff. Yeah, Glasner has not signed a new contract either. Apparently, they both can be available at the end of the season. If you're going to get them during the season, it costs a lot more money. In terms of interim talk that's been banding around, I'll go to you, Ben, first. If an interim was being banded till this then at the end of the season, who do you think that might be able to do a job for United as an interim? Who would you like to see?
Probably Michael Carrick. Michael Carrick, yeah, because
Why is that, Ben? Can you
he's
explain that to people?
well, I think everyone knows what I'm gonna say because he's probably one that but yeah, no, he is. He actually is. He's the only interim that's dropped Bruno Fernandes. So Michael Carrick, and also he's a midfielder. Michael Carrick's no mug. Michael Carrick will always be a legend. And I think if he was coaching United like till the end of the season, I think he would, you know, play through the midfield instead of through the width. And I think he'll just be basic tactics for Carrick, and that's what you need. I think a lot of people give him stick of what he did at where did he coach Middlesbrough? Did he coach at Middlesbrough? Yeah.
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 He
His
lost in the
tactics.
playoffs. He lost in the
Yeah.
playoffs.
Didn't go
His
well.
tactics are very just simple, basic, and I think that's what these players need. We just need to get through to January. We just need to get through to the next transfer market, and then we need to sell all of these players, and that's it. Just bring an interim that can do the basics, get us to top 8 or top 10, and then that's it. We just say goodbye and then bring in the next coach. I don't want to bring another coach in now, man. Just leave it to Amorim or an interim. That's it. Oh, Michael Carrick for me. What about you, Jarvis and Nurden?
Jarvis, if you had to get an interim, who do you think? See, some people are saying bring Ollie back. Bring the good times back.
Ole!
Bring Ollie back, and we'll start scoring goals at least. Bring Ollie back. Some people are saying.
What is the job of an interim? Because you won't get any signings. You just got to get the best out of the group and start, as you said, winning games and taking points.
And also players will not respect them. Remember what the players said to Ranić?
Yeah.
Ranić was like, we need to do double sessions to get the gegenpress right. They were like, it's too dark.
Yeah, but
quote, they said it was too dark to come after. They have to pick up their kids, and also that it's too dark drive from the training ground to back home. Can you imagine that? In their 200 grand cars, they said it was too dark.
Yeah. It's almost like hearing Anthony. I don't know if you saw his comments today, Anthony. He had said to some Spanish television that he suffered in a hotel for over 4 weeks. He had to wait for something to happen. Poor.
So basically, in a hotel
mentality.
where the bed is on for you every single day that you come home, the bed is made for you. You can pick up the phone as a multimillionaire footballer and order everything from the kitchen at any time. You're getting basically service.
Most of us work all year long to be able to go to an hotel for 2 weeks and vacate and relax. And he had to suffer through 4 weeks of a 5-star hotel, top suite. And this is, but it tells me a lot about how detached a lot of these players are from the regular guys, the regular life. And how are we expecting them to start working hard and breaking a sweat on the pitch for 90 minutes once a week? That's just, I think we're asking too much. But, that's why I think maybe we should get in someone who knows the culture of Man United, get everyone on board, and maybe Carrick is not that bad. I don't know what type of style Carrick plays. What's his preferred lineup is? What's his formation?
We beat Chelsea on the counter. We beat Chelsea on the counter.
Yeah, but then he was an interim. He just continued, prolonged what Ole was doing. Actually, he made small tweaks.
Would you get Carrick and René Meulenstein?
Yeah, someone like René Meulenstein, someone of the old guys who actually have some experience. I think that would help. Definitely, someone with a little bit of aura, someone who can come in and actually talk to these players with respect. And
what about Ruud? What about Ruud and Meulenstein, 2 Dutch guys?
Yeah, but the thing with Ruud, his experience is not too much. No. I would rather have someone who has been around the game for at least 10 years, knows the Premier League in and out, everything about the league. Yeah. So, René Meulenstein. Yeah, Carrick might be better, but also we have as an assistant we have Nicky Butt, for example. He's done well with the academy. I don't know, maybe Kieran McKenna,
even
someone who can come in as the number 2 for a René Meulenstein or something. But in an ideal world, we the one I wouldn't take back is Ralph Ragnick, coming in and actually just
that'd be amazing.
telling it how it is, But the Glazer
Yeah,
will
but
never touch him.
for that, we have to be a football club, and we're not a football club. So we're thinking about who can now go with this brand, this PR brand. Do you think the reason why they've not sacked him is because they know that he exposes them? The spotlight will be on Wilcox and Barada. Do you think that's what the big thing is? Even though Wilcox kind of distances himself from Amorim 3-4-3, and he's the one who stopped the youth teams playing this 3-4-3 BS because he knows that he's not going to be here that long. I don't know if you guys saw Amorim's comments today. So apparently, the interview was done in the UK. I don't know if you saw it, Jav. So TNT, who show the Champions League games as well. Rio used to work for them. They used to be called BT before. Now TNT. It's on UK Discovery now in the UK. Amorim, coming up to the anniversary of 1 year in charge. Owen Hargreaves, one of our best midfielders. Wow. That balance, what he brought to Manchester United. Honestly, I really think he's underrated. What he did to Manchester United when he came.
Well, it's a shame he had a lot of injuries. I think that's what's holding him back.
He played in that double. He played big games. I'll never forget the free kick, the performance against Arsenal. So many games he got man of the match, by the way. So many games in that season, 08 season. He basically asked him about what he thinks about his system, and Amorim's telling him the same things. I'm going to change the system, But he basically said, he literally said, the experienced players don't have the mentality because they're thinking about what's happened to them past seasons. Who said that, Jarvis? When did I say he should have cleared them out? Anybody who's in that team that lost 7-0 to Liverpool, should have been headed out. I said that because
them out of the team. Yeah,
they should have all gone. Yeah. Everybody should have been gone, but no. We still have Jose Mourinho players. We still have Van Gaal, Jose, Oli, Ten Hag players in the squad.
Yeah, Luke Shaw was Van Gaal's signing, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Diego Dalot, Joe's signing. Yes. So,
Jose.
This is the reason, but that's what he basically said. I don't know if you heard it, Ben, but Amorim basically said they don't have the mentality. As soon as we go one down, they lose their heads. They don't have any of the mentality. That's what he basically said.
I've seen the interview. I've seen it. Yeah.
Yes.
Not nice. Not nice to
hear. But I looked at it in some ways like you've not even been here for a year, and you're already witnessing that. Now, Jarvis, I don't know if any of you know about Bodo Glimt, but Bodo Glimt do incredibly unconventional ways to basically help the players cope with the demands of top-level football. They do incredible different things. This week, I was reading about something where Arteta is bringing in pilots. Pilots, fighter jets, army people.
Arteta is doing the same. He's copying Bodo Glimt.
Arteta is bringing them in because apparently he's bringing them in to say, look, they communicate with one word. They haven't got the time because it could be life or death. So they have to say what they have to say in 1 or 2 words. And that's what he's thinking, the way they can communicate on a football pitch. So, but Jarvis has been telling me, and I've also looked it up, they use meditation. They bring all sorts of different type of professionals who work in very pressured situations to bring and calm.
Yoga, meditation.
Talk about it.
Different stuff, it's all about resetting your mind and get all the tension out of your body ready to go again. So after every game, in the morning after the game, so tomorrow morning Bodo Glimt will go into the office or into the training facilities in the morning, and every player will do at least 1 hour of relaxation, meditation, and then yoga. It's all about getting all the tension out of your body and reset your mind and be ready to go again. And I think this is where a lot of the problems, when you see the mentality of the Man United players, we can't win 2 in a row. We can't win 2 in a row. We haven't won 2 in a row for, I don't know when we did it last time. It must have been around Christmas or something. But
I think it might have been in May or something. Yeah. It's a long
Yeah,
time.
well, if you
In the
count
Premier
Europa
League,
League, yeah, in the
in
Premier
the
League,
Premier
forget
League,
about
we've
it.
not done 2 in a row for a long, long time. 2024, sometime it was.
Yeah. Nocturnal wisdom coming in: yoga, meditation, cooking classes, and weaving. Well, it's not entirely that, but it's about resetting your mind. And as a mental coach, they hired a fighter plane pilot. His name is called Sivert Manswerk, and he came in and almost revolutionized the mental game of the team. They had players who actually played today and been playing for Bodo Glimt now through the years, doing really well. And a lot of this, one of the players, he actually retired, but he just kept on playing for 2 more weeks because he was going to school that fall. The school hadn't started yet, so we just trained with the team the last 2 weeks. And then this guy came in and he completely changed his mind because he was so nervous before every game. He actually puked. He puked before every game, and he couldn't stop doing it. He was so nervous, he was shaking. But the mentality came in, and everybody started focusing on just one thing. What are you going to do? What are you going to do when you receive the ball? What are you going to do when he has the ball? So we're all focused. So it's just about focus, and Bodo Glimt, they were the yo-yo team. They were going up and down through the first division and the Premier League in Norway year after year after year. Never been a good team, terrible team, and now they are dominating Norwegian football and actually doing well in Europe. So, I'm so impressed, and everybody got to realize they have most likely not a bigger stadium than Grimsby. And they are far up in the north. The winter is 8 months long. In the
Half
winter time,
circle.
the
Half
sun is the
circle.
sun is beneath the horizon, so you don't get
Half
any
circle,
sunlight
apparently,
for
Jarvis.
months, and the snow and cold is terrible. But even then, they are able to compete against the top European elite clubs. And how is that? And they have no money. Basically, they have no money. I think Casemiro earns more than the whole of Bodo Glimt in a week. So how is it possible when you think of it? It's about mentality. It's about attitude, and you want to be the best. And I wish we run half as good as Bodo Glimt, and we would actually be dominating the Premier League.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%. And I
yeah,
agree. But for that, Jarvis, you have to be a football club.
yeah. As I said, I want us to pick not just a name. I want us to pick a direction and stick with
100%.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it. Bayern Munich have a way of playing. They stick with that. They have club traditions. So do Ajax. So do Real Madrid. They just want to win. It don't matter. But they're not. Then I'm never gonna see Real Madrid playing 3 at the back. You'll never see that because they just play 4-3-3. Success. Whoever's bought them the success, that's what they're gonna play. They're gonna play with wingers. They're gonna play with wingers. They're gonna play with through the middle and going up to the striker. They're gonna play it. It's winning football. Manchester United, because we're not a football club. We yo-yo from, like you said, the idea. In what school of thought would you ever go from Van Gaal to Jose? In what planet of football?
Yeah.
In what world, Ben? In what world of football do you do that? Do you go from Van Gaal, who's like Areola, who will go positionally? He teaches the people to positionally. Van Gaal would absolutely kick Bruno out like that.
100%.
He's not failing to be in an area of the football pitch, and he's not doing it. See you later. You're gone. You're absolutely. Yeah. He was whistling his mouth, training positioning, teaches them positioning. You know who Pep Guardiola got that from? Louis van Gaal. How to teach players how to position, where to be, to become so obsessed. And at times, because in Holland they all say that there was the 2 schools of Dutch football. The 2 schools were the Van Gaal or the Cruyff. And guess what? Pep Guardiola took a lot from Cruyff, but the positional play he took from Van Gaal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, people, it's what it is.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. 100% right. I don't know if you guys have seen the Dutch team, 74, 78 team with Cruyff in the team,
I watched
and then
documentaries.
Nakens and a lot of the legends. You know,
Total football.
the Dutch total football. It wasn't about spreading out and passing the ball. It was about flooding and overloading areas. Everybody was running after the ball all the time. Total football.
And the best thing about
much
it
more like Bologna in the modern days. Remember when they had the Juventus coach now?
Yeah,
and
Motta.
Motta. But you know, Van Gaal positional play. So I agree 100%. You can see clearly how Pep wants to play. He spreads out the play and stretch out the pitch. So yeah, 100%. Good point, Nuruddin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rumors and more rumors are going on. Saturday. I might be going to the game actually on Saturday.
Oh, Nuruddin, don't do that to yourself.
I might go to, you know what? Because I really want to see Sunderland. I'm gonna lie to you,
bro.
I want to see Sunderland. I want to see how Sunderland are
They're
playing.
playing really well, man.
Yeah,
really well.
I really want to see how Sunderland are going to cope. Obviously, a lot of the players are going to be nervous. They've not been in the Premier League for a while. We've not faced them in the Premier League for a while. So it's going to be very interesting to see. And I'm there to hopefully test the atmosphere as well, to check out what.
It wasn't great. It wasn't.
So yeah, if I don't go, I'll be doing a watch along. If not, I'll be in that stadium. But yeah, it's just
the Black Cats against the Rats or Rats.
Yeah. The Rats, the Rats.
I mean,
apparently, the latest from Ineos is that Jim is abreast of it all. He's in direct communication, and there was an emergency meeting apparently. I don't know if you guys read about that. There was an emergency meeting.
Nuruddin, let me ask you a question. You know, if this board was serious about backing Amorim to the hill, why don't they come out and say Amorim will stay for the remainder of the season no matter what? Why don't they just, because now they're making life miserable for the players and Amorim, because all these speculations, you can see we want Carrick this, Xavi that, Glasner here, you know, blah, blah, blah. And Amorim is losing his job, apparently, according to every you know, sport journalist out there. You know, it would be so easy if they were serious. Just go out and say, Amorim is staying. End of discussion.
That's it. Stop
but
the
they're not.
speculation.
They're not.
Yeah. The cowards.
They're covering their own ass. Cowards, yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
The cowards. Yeah. 100% they're cowards.
I still think sacking Dan Ashworth was a massive mistake, man.
Yeah.
You know, the propaganda with this Dan Ashworth saying he was the one that wanted to keep Amorim and Bruno. It's mind blowing, bro. It's absolutely mind blowing. He wanted to play 4-3-3 because he was at Newcastle. They play 4-3-3. He was at Brighton. They play 4-3-3. He wanted to change the system. And people are just, you know, saying he did shit at his job, man. This propaganda this fan base produces and this club is
chemistry.
Yeah,
the effing chemistry.
Like, surely if you're an owner, you explain the whole details.
West Ham told Amorim, no, we don't need you.
Liverpool too.
We haven't got the players to play 4-3-3. Liverpool said no, thank you. Dan Ashworth said no, thank you, and he was the one that was sacked. And then they spun it and said it was Dan Ashworth that wanted Southgate. Can you imagine how dirty this football club is? And actually, the truth of the matter is actually that Jim that likes what Southgate's done with England, and Jim and Dave, Dodgy Dave, and Ineos have met and spoke to, and Dodgy Dave likes because he's, you know,
they have close relationship.
Southgate, and like Southgate because he basically entertained his marginal gains bullshit. Marginal, make the fucking football club a football club again. How about that for a margin? How about that for a margin? Make the football club a football again. How about that? You absolute mucker.
Never.
Yeah. But yeah, people, listen, we've talked about it. You've heard my opinion. I don't want any interims. I think interim gives the players excuses. You might as well write off the season, unless you're getting two people who are going to be the new coaches part of that team. Unless the two people who are going to come in to be the interim are also going to be part of the new coaches' backroom staff, players cannot get away with it. In life, it's always been said, in any football team, if you give players an excuse, they will absolutely run a mile with it. So I don't want any excuse. These absolute Muppets, that overpaid Muppets, should not be getting away with the performances that they're putting in. Yeah. But if you said to me, go and get 10 million to Areola, sell Bruno in January to Saudi, get rid of Casemiro, and go and get Elia Anderson, and go and get Baleba, 100 million%. I will do that. Yeah. I will do that. I will do that. Big up to DJTK. Why do rival fans like pushing the narrative that Arsenal fans are bipolar? Liverpool fans have been unbelievably arrogant this season. Now, look, Chelsea were talking about finishing above us. You're all tapped low. Okay, so here's how I see it. Arsenal fans, if you're not on a stretch, first of all, thank you so much for the donation, the super chat. I appreciate you. Arsenal fans, as the only other fan base that has a high presence online on any of the socials. So let me just repeat that for the people at the back. It's Manchester United and Arsenal who have the highest level of presence online on so the socials. That is a fact. Liverpool fans, we call them the unbearables. They're absolutely unbearable. We keep it 100%. A lot of them are in my family. But in this country, they're known as the unbearable. Chelsea fans. Well, Chelsea fans used to mainly be some old school Arsenal fans, switched to Chelsea. And Chelsea, I'm DJ. I'm old enough to remember when Chelsea used to have a car parked behind their goal. I remember that old school Stamford Bridge. They were never meant to be this type of football club until Ibrahimovic came and did what he did, the madness. And even before that, to be fair, they got a bit lucky with having Vialli and Ruud Gullit and these guys coming in and coaching and actually winning FA Cups. So that's where their thing started, and Ibrahimovic bought them for absolutely nothing. And then did what he did with them. We wanted to win.
Yeah.
But yeah, so to me, I'm an Arsenal supporter. The other day I said on a Straight Jacket podcast, if Arsenal were to stop Liverpool from winning the league for half an hour, I'll put on an Arsenal shirt, because that's how much I hate Liverpool. That's how much I don't want Liverpool to ever get 21.
Yeah.
That's how much I agree. But yeah, I think that's the reason why your fans are seen as bipolar, because there are, just like in the Manchester United fan base, there are very strong opinions in your club. And actually, we're similar in the fact that you were in the doldrums for over 20 years. You've not won the league. Now it's 13 years for us. And you are basically coming back to fight, but you have to do it. You have now got the squad to do it. You must do it. I am cheering for Arsenal every game, every second of every game this in the Premier League. I really, really do want Arsenal to win the league this season, because City are cowards. They've let the Scousers win last season, and I can't rely on even Pep anymore to stop the Scousers. So that's what's happening. I used to rely on Pep to stop the Scousers. Pep's let me down. He's let me down. You found him sleeping on the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks a bit concussed.
You do.
Yeah. So, yeah. People, where we are on the likes, let me just go back to the poll. So, Glasner, 40%. Areola, 20%. Xavi, 24%. Conte, 15%. Sorry, Bumbaye. I even put Conte in there. You're not even here. You're watching this, hopefully. But yeah, people, this is where we're at.
Yeah.
We need so many more likes for the video. We actually need 19 more 19 more likes for the video to get the target of 200 likes for the video. But yeah,
But Noradin, before we end the show, you know, I know it's your show, so I don't want to set every direction of the show. But you know, as I said, the style of play, you know, and also for Ben, what type of football would you like Man United to what direction would you actually like Man United to go in? Like, do you want us to play direct football, like Jurgen Klopp or Ragnick? Do you want us to play counter-attacking football? You want us to play the old-fashioned Man United way with wing play and crossing and all of this, or do you want us to go to the total football thing, or defensive catenaccio, or as I said, it could be pragmatic hybrid style? So, what type of style would you actually like for us to play in the future? What direction should United go into?
For me, I've always been a big fan of the like proactive like style, like front foot football, like possession, like I just love coaches that they're always possession, like minded, like always keeping the ball, like I always say, like especially that game when I had to fill in one day for the Sunday League team for the for the B team. I always said the ball is I forgot what because a few months ago, but I said if you keep the ball like it's what am I looking for, like it's a magnet, like don't lose it, just don't lose it, keep it on you, like no long balls, none of this, like I just like I know Amorim, like in our previous coaches, like Ten Hag wasn't really possession based, Jose wasn't really possession based, Ole wasn't possession based. Van Gaal was like the last coach we've had that's possession based. But the thing was with Van Gaal, there was too many sideward passes, going all the way back to the keeper. I just want a manager who possession based, possession minded, but just always on the front foot. And like I think in these last few years, I think Manchester United have always prioritizes wing play. Just like how Fergie used to do it back in the day with the 4-4-2 formation. For me, I think United just need to go on a route where, like how other teams play it, and at the end of the day, strikers don't win football matches, goalkeepers don't win football matches. It's the midfield. Midfield, we just need to find a manager who loves playing for the midfield, and we haven't had that. Like I seen massive, I've seen it before, man. Like those 12 games under Ole was actually something special, man. And I know everyone hated the system, but his system, just even though with no tactics, it actually worked, man. With those three in the midfield, so if someone that comes in with just possession, possessionally minded, and just someone who just plays in the front foot, man. I don't want any more counter attack, mid, like low block, none of this, man. I don't want to see it anymore, man. But that's me, man. Possession based, front foot football, proactive.
Yeah, I think I really think that I want a coach who's adaptable, who adapts to what the team's doing. Yes, I think we need to. I think the recruitment, you have to have technical players who be able to keep hold of the ball. I do agree with that, but I want to see wing play. I want to be able to get, when I go to Old Trafford, when our winger gets the ball, I want to be able to do this. I want to get off my seat. My knees are trapped because the seats are that close to each other, people. I'm 6'4", so I get trapped. Sometimes I don't even stand up because I know it's not going to be. The fans get so excited, so I just want to stand up. I really want to see people who can run up and down that, because that's what I grew up on. So it's easy for me. It's a mixture of, how we were with when Fergie, Carlos Queiroz was there. That type, very difficult to beat. Sometimes can go into like, you know what I mean? Like that tough, hard to beat. Players had to get in position, knowing positional play. But when we were attacking, be able to connect and attack as a team, move as a team. I don't really like keeping possession safe for possession's sake. I'm not really about that. For me, the whole point of why you keep possession is two things. Is to create opportunities and overload. get players into position to be able to score goals. And the other big thing is the possession is when you want to kill a game, you've got 15 minutes left.
Control the game. That's why you keep possession. Controlling the game, controlling the tempo.
Controlling the game. And but I don't like just having centre halves having possession sake, building up the stats.
Oh, never do I, man. Never do I, you know.
The ball going into midfield and so on. 100%. I know what you mean, but I wasn't saying that. I'm just saying,
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't like that. I really don't like that. Possession has to be with purpose. But what I want is them to me is the players more than anything else.
Yeah.
It's not even about the system for me. The club would have to choose who we are. I think we've got to stay true to what made us successful, why we were successful. You have to have fighters. You have to have physicality. But you also have to have football brains. And you have to have a chemistry of those three things. And the biggest thing for me is I never, ever, ever, ever want to see that whoever's playing off room for Manchester United being starved for opportunities.
Yeah, I agree.
You have to be able to create the football with attacking players, 8 to 10 chances per game. You have to be able to create that. Because that's what I grew up on. That's what I grew up on. Creating those chances. I think Manchester United used every champion, every winning team that's ever been used counter-attack as a tactic.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Every team. So counter-attacking, what is bad is when it becomes your only game. Yeah. So on the Fergie, all the different 4 teams he created, the counters were deadly. Just like Real Madrid counters were deadly. Barcelona on the Pep, the counters were unbelievable. City on the Pep, Liverpool on the club, the counters were incredible. That old German guy, when they first won Bayern Munich, when they first won the league, their counters in the Champions League were unbelievable. Hansi Flick, when he did the treble, the counter-attack was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was good.
All of the best teams, the counter-attack was unbelievable. The great Arsenal team that did the double. FA Cup and the league. The Overmars. Are you taking the piss? The counter-attacking they used to get from the Overmars. Unbelievable. So for me, that's what Manchester United is. But I have to be able to get off my seat. There has to be, because I think with Fergie, it was direct attacking football. It was throwing the kitchen sink football, especially at Old Trafford. And I've not seen that for years. Years and years and years.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you, Nerd. And the only issue is when you said you want to see more wing play. You know, ever since Antonio Valencia left, he was an unbelievable player. I absolutely love Valencia. We as United fans, we always want, like, ever since, like, you know, when Van Gaal arrived, Jose arrived, Ole arrived, you know, most of our top scorers have been wingers, and that's not how football is played, man. The wingers have to be the assist makers. That, you know, Antonio Valencia.
We no longer trusted having 4 strikers. That's why I would go back to having 4 strikers. Yeah. Then the wingers can score goals, but they can also their responsibility is to score goals. And to also set up the strikers.
Yeah, set up a striker, man. And like I said, like if Antonio Valencia was in this Man United team, you wouldn't see Antonio Valencia in the top of the goal scorers. But this is why, like, the likes of players like Rashford, Garnacho, I can't remember who, Anthony Martial when he was a winger. You know, this is why, you know, like our identity on how we want to play the game has just been non-existent. And, like, you know, if we had Antonio Valencia right now, man, like, if there's any Antonio Valencia-minded players out there in the world, we need to go for them, man. You know, and I think Mbeumo is, like, he actually is, you know, sort of like a Valencia. Like, he doesn't always want to go for the killer shoot. He actually wants to go and assist the striker, but he needs to be told more to put more crosses into the box. Amad Diallo, I love Amad Diallo, but he just wants to take players on and just be, you know, be a superstar, like just like what Rashford was like, and try and go for shots. No, you got a 6'5" striker there, man. Now, there's no excuses. The kid needs service, man. That's the only player I actually said to myself. He's the only player that can hold his head up high, because I seen glimpses of him, and see when like see him winning, his duels in the air, his aerial duels. He merely wins most of them. Like, so we just need to feed more crosses into the box. And like I said, Norden, I 100% agree. I wouldn't mind going back to 2 strikers, just like what Fergie used to do back in the day with Wayne Rooney and Van Persie or whatever it was, man. Ruud van Nistelrooy.
You have to have the options of the bench to get in games.
Yeah, 100%.
When Manchester United
100%.
become a football club, we need to have three strikers. If not 4,
100%.
we need to have options of the bench to be able to change the football game.
100%.
But people, listen, we've been live. We talked about it. I just want to give you the last thing about the pool. Still glass at 40%, 26% Xavi, 19% Areola, 15% Conte. But yeah, people, please go and check out what we did last night. Make sure you check out Jarvis Tactical Devils, the best Monday night YouTube channel for Manchester United. Incredible debate, really insightful football, really funny, hilarious community. Make sure you go and check them out. There's always barrel of laughs. Bowley, BOLE 77 on X and Tactical Devils on YouTube. Make sure you check out Ben at Ben X Elmore 39 on X, and on Twitch is Elmore 20. He's a gamer.
I'll be back to streaming this week, chat. So I'll be obviously streaming a wee bit of FIFA and the new Call of Duty coming out this week. So I'll be streaming like mad this week, people. So tune in.
Yeah, tune in, people. If you're gamers, he's definitely not like Saeed getting busted. We need a bench depth because ownership won't invest in them out. 100%. But people, you know where it is. That guy Red Devil on X. Content is coming. Daily therapy. We're doing a video or a live every single day to fight against the unfairness of fucking YouTube and Google and the Zionist infiltration on socials, because that's what they would try to get us to be. We're shadow banned, and they switch off. Remember, before I got kicked out of the studio, it's mad. Last time I was live for a minute and a half, and they cut the show. It's mad. Things are going on. Honestly, I had to delete that video. And start again. But yeah, love and light. We're still 20 something short of something like 16 short or 17 short of 16 like short from away from a 200 likes. That was the target, but you don't want to do it, no problem. Big up to everybody. I'm quite tired. I'm gonna go to bed. United are United. We'll be back. Anything news tomorrow? Most likely might be a video. Might do a video tomorrow, or we might go live again tomorrow with anything that's breaking. But love and light. I love to hear about if they're around Sean, Luwani, and Lesso, who they think can come in and help this.
Bring me Eddie Howe. Bring me Eddie Howe.
Yeah.
He is.
There it is. Won't be fucking at 80 quid for that game. There you go. It's 90 quid actually, Jamie. It's 90 quid.
Yeah, it's quite
dear. It's no longer a Manchester United player, but wish that kid well.
Yeah, same man.
Yeah, love to. I don't think scapegoating and singing songs about it.
Not a chance.
Manchester United fans. He's a young kid, man. Leave it out. Anyway, big up, love, light. Take care, people. Free Palestine, Congo, Sudan, United Islands. Solidarity with all the indigenous people around the world, wherever they be. Big up Bodo Glimt for what they're doing. The absolute maximum they're getting out of that football club. One day maybe we can go, Jarvis. Come to Norway. We can go and watch the game.
I have one question, Norden. Just before we wrap, just very quickly. What are your thoughts on this BS propaganda Gaza plan with like how Israel want to make peace with Gaza and shit? Do you believe? I it's just fucking laughable.
Listen, they're killing people. They're killing people.
Yeah.
The genocide is going to carry on. The genocide will carry on. With all this bullshit. So fuck Netanyahu. Fuck Trump.
Fuck him, bro. Honestly.
Fuck ICE. Fuck all these dickheads. Free Palestine. Free the Congo.
Always,
free,
man. Every day.
Solidarity, with all oppressed people around the world. Everybody's welcome here. We don't judge you because of your religion, your orientation, your gender, whatever. Love and light, people. Look after each other. Free the people. Free Manchester United fans from the despicable, blood-sucking Glazers and Ineos. Peace.
We don't score
Tony Blair
anymore.
as well. Walk him
Like we
We don't
used
score
to.
anymore.
We don't score anymore.
Like
We
we
don't win
used
anymore
to.
like we used to. There you go. Good night, people.
Good night.